Think about what kind of kid you want to be.
Hi guys, this is Brycen,
And Riley.
back with another episode of Goats in the Making, where we talk about game-changing stories of life, sports, and faith.
On today's episode, we're excited to introduce you to the glove magician himself, Ryan Cox. Ryan is a standout player for the Savannah Bananas as the starting shortstop and trick play master. His insane fielding skills and ability to perform jaw-dropping trick plays have made him a fan favorite. Ryan's journey began in Pennsylvania, where he grew up and was a two-sport athlete in high school. He played both baseball and basketball.
Ryan continued his baseball career at Kutztown University, where he not only pushed the limit on the field, but off too. He was a three-time member of the Dean's List in addition to his baseball success. In 2023, Ryan set a new team record with 100 trick plays, which has only continued to raise the bar since then. He continued to dazzle fans with his glove wizardry, including the coolest trick play I've ever seen in Fort Myers, where he flipped it between his legs to KJ barehanded for the out. Unreal.
Ryan, are there any other things our guests should know about you?
Intro, thanks for having me. No, that was probably the best intro I've ever gotten. If I could play that everywhere that I walk into, I will take that. I thought the Dean's List was cool. We were going to talk a lot about school and how important that was. So that was nice to hear a little pat on the back because school wasn't always the easiest. So we definitely worked hard for that. Pittsburgh was a big one. I love my hometown. I love where I'm from. And obviously, trick plays is a big part of what I do in banana ball. So thank you for touching on those.
We like to start off by getting to know our guests with a few this or that and rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Philly cheesesteak or Leopold's ice cream?
Philly cheesesteak.
What's your favorite baseball movie?
Sandlot.
Signing autographs or having conversations with fans?
Ooh, this is the tough one. I'm gonna say conversations because hopefully that ends up being more meaningful.
Baseball or basketball?
Am I gonna be the best of the best in the sport? Or okay, if I'm gonna be the best of the best, basketball. I think there's nothing better than being really good at basketball.
Favorite hair dye style?
Avatar, The Last Airbender, because it was the first one that really gave me confidence to do anything like super, super cool.
Yeah, I like the one with the blue stars.
That was a great one too.
Favorite autograph or sports memory?
When I was like 13, I got an opportunity to go to a silent auction and I met some of my favorite Pirates players. And Freddie Sanchez talked baseball with me for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was awesome.
Favorite Dalton Malden song?
Cherry Lime. I mean, it's just the one that gets my heart going, gets my feet moving. Just dropped a new one. I helped him do some merch for the other ones. So a lot of Dalton Malden. Cherry Lime's my most played.
Me too.
Favorite Bible verse or motto?
I think my favorite motto is to just keep going. A lot of that comes from, my practice of the faith growing up, and a lot of it when my mom worked for the church, and we would just continue to go. We continued to go when I had baseball games, and I would continue to go to CCD. And a lot of it is not about being perfect as we learn, but just continue to keep showing up for people and keep trying to serve.
My favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Yeah, mine's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
That's awesome.
Superheroes or villains?
Controversial. Villains. The Joker in Batman is one of my favorite characters. Batman is my favorite superhero though.
What's the best cake flavor?
I'm say vanilla. Pretty plain there.
Same.
And then the flavorful icing.
Yeah.
and like some sprinkles too. You know,
Hmm.
like when the designs on the and there's just like too much icing in one spot, you got to have a piece that the icing's spread, but the sprinkles are all over. It's
Yeah.
key.
We're going to move on and ask some questions about your baseball journey.
Knock it out of the park.
You were number 6 for the Bananas, and has that always been your go-to number?
No. So when I was your age, I wore number 2 a lot. Before that, I wore number 7. And then when I went to college, I wore number 5. My first break in pro ball, I wore number 8, Jackson Olsen. And now I went back to 6 in Banana Land. And actually, when I first got here, my primary number choice was going to be 5. And I didn't get it that first spring season. And of course, we know who 5 is now, DR. It just worked out so perfectly. And 6 became, my number here with the Bananas.
So why was you number 2 for a long time?
Derek Jeter was one of my favorite shortstops growing up. I think everyone wanted to be Jeter in some way, whether it was play for the Yankees or make the cool jump throw. So I always wanted to be like him. And 2 is just a great baseball number. Hanley Ramirez wore it for a while. It just looks so sick on the uniform, single digit.
I wear number 85 because my uncle is Jack Youngblood, and he wore number 85.
That's tough. That's
Yeah.
tough. I met a fan the other day, and he told me a story of why he wore, I think it was a number in the 70s, maybe. And I always think that that is so cool because everyone groups up their numbers early, and it's like a bunch of numbers all together. You always have your ones or twos, your 5s, 7s. But if you have a number that stands out by yourself, it's so much easier for everyone to remember you.
Okay, we have to talk about this trick quiz in Fort Myers. That was the most insane thing ever. How do you think of these different moves and put them into play? Do you think youth players would be more drawn to fielding if they had the option to do cool trick plays?
Let's start with the second part of your question because I think that is huge. I think everyone would be more drawn to fielding if you could have fun with it the way that we do in Banana Land. So to draw inspiration on tricks, this weekend was also the slam dunk competition. And so there was a lot of throwing alley oops to people and like perfectly timing passes. I think that's some of the best part of basketball is how you involve your teammates. So KJ and I, Hosley and I, the third baseman, shortstops, we've been working on how do we involve a pass play here. And actually, that play was supposed to be me catching, and it was going to be a spin behind the back, like I would flip to second, because I've done that before. I feel comfortable with that motion. But when the ball was hit, I couldn't spin because I caught it kind of high. So I was like, okay, I'll just jump and flip it to him. I see he's ready for it. So KJ didn't know where that ball was going to come from. He made a great job. We were on the same page. And that was one of my favorite highlights for sure because I think it opens up a lot what we can do with trick plays. In that same game, Baber goes give and go to Acuff on the ball at the middle, and they make an unbelievable give and go play. And baseball, you don't see a lot of teammates working together on fly balls or ground balls. So now I got to watch everybody on the field because I don't know who's going to throw the ball to first, and I hope it beats the runner. But you guys know if you're fielding and you got to make sure that you're perfect fundamentals and then you got to make a perfect throw, that's so much pressure. But when I'm fielding to have fun or I'm fielding where I feel like I'm in control, then you can create all those cool moves and you're not worried about missing it because you trust yourself.
Yeah, in Ohio, we all played without pressure when we were doing trick plays, trick pitches. We were all having fun, and we played better. We did really good, and that
Yeah.
was because of the no pressure and the trick play. It was like we were all waiting for the ball to come to us so we could do a cool trick play.
You hit a spot on. I still feel the same way in banana ball games. I think I'm playing the best ball of my whole career right now. And I think I care probably more than ever. You still want to win and we're still being competitive, but I want to do all these things, but you want the ball hit to you. When you're not fielding well, everybody knows what it feels like to sit out there and be scared if it's going to come your way or what happens if I don't make the play? In banana ball, you want the ball hit to you because you want to do that cool trick you've been working on. So it takes away that fear of the ball entirely. It's like when you see it, your eyes light up like a middle fastball. It's like, okay, cool, my turn. Let me go see what I can do with this thing.
What do you think makes a good leader? How can athletes support their teammates and create a positive environment both on and off the field?
Great question. I think being a good leader comes from doing all the little things, whether that's showing up on time, putting in the extra work, hustling, cleaning up the dugout. I think it's hard to be a good leader without doing some of those things because when you speak to somebody, your words have to hold weight, right? They have to believe you and what you're saying. And a lot of times you can only get that trust and respect by showing your teammates that you're going to show up. That goes back to, my earlier mantra, just keep going, right? You want to be around the people in the locker room that you can count on. So when you're a leader, you have to be someone that people can count on. Now, not all leaders have to be rugged and tough. Not all leaders have to be screamers. There's many different ways to lead people, and that's part of being a leader is taking a look around the locker room and knowing who responds to kind of encouragement or motivation. And then another huge quality is don't be afraid to say the tough thing. We all have big dreams. We all have these goals that we want to get to. Sometimes your teammates not falling into line or somebody needs to have a tough conversation because you're messing around when coach is talking or whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to say the tough thing if it's going to put the team in a better spot, right? You want to make sure we're all in this together, and you would be thankful if somebody helped you along whenever you weren't doing your job and they pulled you back and kept you in the group. So don't be afraid to lean on your teammates and make them better people too.
Shortstop is one of the hardest positions on the field. Did you always want to play shortstop growing up, or did you rotate positions?
I always wanted to play shortstop. I did rotate positions a lot, which I think is really important because you don't always know if you're going to play shortstop. There's some things in baseball. Sometimes you get on a team and for whatever reason, they don't want to start you at shortstop. They already had one, whatever the politics may be. So you got to learn other positions. And I've played plenty of positions. That's where my best fit was when I first got to college was playing some second base, playing some third base because we had a really good shortstop. When I got to pro ball, similar situation. My first break was at third base. Now, most of my career, I played shortstop, and I'm thankful for that because it was my favorite position. So I worked my butt off to get there. But you have to be able to move and adjust because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to be on the field. We want to be in the lineup. We want to help the team win. Sometimes that's outfield. If you pay attention to the MLB, Jose Altuve was taking fly balls where recently? Do you guys know? He moved from second base. He was thinking about taking fly balls in left field to try to keep Alex Bregman around so that hopefully he would stay, and that's being the team. And now Rafi Devers says he wants to stay at third base. So it's just one of those things where even at the big league level, you never know what's going to be best for the team or what's going to get you in the lineup. So be willing to play anywhere, but work your butt off for where you want to be.
Yeah, and for Jose Altuve, that's a good teammate because it makes it so his teammate could stay. That's the leader. He wanted his teammate to be with him and
That,
succeed with him. So he moved positions. And
that is being a leader.
yeah. And also, so I've always loved playing shortstop and second base, but I've also learned to play outfield and third base because like cause say I join a new team or something, like middle school baseball next year, and they already have a shortstop and the second base, then I would need to play somewhere else, and I already have a bunch of spots.
Exactly. And then when you get that opportunity, you don't feel nervous because you already tried it out and you already know what you're supposed to do when the balls hit to you in these situations. And that's half of it anyway.
Yeah. When you were younger, did you ever play pitcher? Or
Yeah. Yeah. I all the way up through high school. I would close a little bit in high school. So I would play shortstop for the first 6 innings and then come in and throw towards the end if we needed a guy. But thankfully, we had some really good starters and they let me stay at short. And then in college, I never really tried it. I sent a audition video to the Bananas when I first tried out to try to be a knuckleball pitcher for them. I didn't know what way I would get here, whether it would be shortstop or pitcher or whatever. I just wanted to be a part of it. And then every once in a while, you'll see me get up on the mound and throw a celebrity pitch when we get up there. But I'm thankful that I can play a little bit farther back because those guys hit the ball pretty hard.
Yeah. We know that school and education was a priority to you and continues to be. I love to read, and you actually recommended the book, The Alchemist, and I loved it. How important is it for young athletes to balance their passion for sports with other activities and schoolwork? And do you have any other book recommendations?
That's really crazy timing of you asking that question today. I'll tell you why at the end. Some of my favorite books growing up, there was a baseball card series. It was like Babe and Me or Hannes and Me, and the kid would touch a baseball card and be transported back in time to whenever these events happened. So I was learning about the game of baseball or like these semi-true stories, like it's, part fiction, part nonfiction, obviously. But you would go back in time and talk about some of my favorite ball players, Shoeless Joe Jackson, the story about him. And I thought if I could just touch my baseball card set, who would I want to go watch and what games would I want to go watch them play? Would I go watch Barry Bonds or Roberto Clemente or, who from the past would I want to go hang out with? I think it's super important for athletes to find things that are entertaining outside of baseball because we tend to care so much about what we do. We tend to care about our teammates and our successes that baseball is just a small fraction of what our day looks like, right? So if we don't have a good day there, then all of a sudden we're sad or we're frustrated because we didn't get what we wanted out of that. And then we start to not like the game as much. And that's not fair to the game, right? You're meant to have bad days. So being able to read for me, whether it was Harry Potter books or a series of unfortunate events, you get to put yourself in different places in different times. And I get to try to use my imagination. And I think that helps you on the baseball field because it helped me think about new plays. It helped me think about trick plays or see the game in a different way. Then I would never have that perspective if I didn't read. And it's crazy that you asked me that because I'm working on a little something myself. And that might be my own little book telling a story and giving away lessons. And the pitch that I gave them was about how important The Alchemist was to me and why I love reading. And this call was an hour ago. So I've been on nothing but calls. So you timing up that question today was spot on with what was going on in my life. So that's A+ journalism right there.
Yeah, I like reading and schoolwork, and it's really, really important because if you're not going to be good in school, you're not going to really realistically be able to go to college. And in college, you won't get D1 offers if you don't have good like skills. So if you don't read and stuff and you don't take schoolwork seriously, then it's harder to play baseball.
I think it's really cool that books also give you an opportunity to continue learning, right? At school, they're trying to teach you about certain things. In books, you can choose to learn about whatever you want. So if something interests you, you can read as much as you want about baseball. You can read as much as you want about cars or travel or fantasy worlds and really just enjoy what you're learning about. And I think a lot of times for young athletes, it's nice to decide what you want to read that day.
One of my favorite things about you is that you're not afraid to be yourself. You have the coolest hair, unique eye black, fun clothes style, and drippy gear. You always come off as confident. How can kids learn to feel comfortable in their own skin and not be afraid to be who they are?
Well, I appreciate that. That is very nice. Confidence it's a work. It's a daily work. Something I still work at. There's days where I don't feel confident in things. Nail painting is like a really easy one. Obviously, it's stereotypical for men not to paint their nails. So every time I do, you're dealing with the confidence of it. Are you confident enough to stand out and be different? Having cool teammates, having good friends. That's a huge influence on me. Jackson, don't be afraid to be you, his motto. that he talks about all the time and the way that he walks his life and he's very confident. That inspires me. And then at the end of the day, I like to think about is I'm here to live my life. Like we only have so much time here. We only have so much time to be with our friends, to be with our family, to watch our TV shows, to try to become a professional baseball player. So I'm going to enjoy what I do. I'm going to be really confident in what I do because we've put in the work and we deserve to be proud of that, and be proud of that in failure. Sometimes you got to look at how far you've come in your journey. I bet if you guys went back right now and you watched the first interview you ever did, right? And then, you watch this one for me, right? And I'm super impressed with the questions and the timing and how professional you are with getting on and off the mic and like teeing each other up for questions. It feels like you've been doing that for years, and clearly you have a great start on that. So those are the things you build confidence in. And then when the great stuff does happen, you just kind of put that little piece on the bookshelf, right? And I made a cool play this weekend with KJ. That confidence moment, I soaked it in. I'm thankful for it. Cool people like you remind me of cool moments like that. And I take those and I put those little memories on my bookshelf. So when I don't feel good about myself or I didn't have a great day at the field, I'll pull one of those books off and I'll look back and be like, hey, these guys said this, or you really did make that play in front of 40,000, or you were able to give back to this community. And then those are the things that you build confidence off of.
What is your favorite part about being a part of the Bananas?
Probably the interactions that I get to have with ball players of your age. I think the youth tournament was the best example of that, where thankfully, because of the Bananas, heck yeah, these ball players had an idea of who I was. So whenever I had something to talk about or I wanted to show trick plays or it was my turn to run my station, it was easier for you guys to listen and for me to share some of the knowledge that we've learned along our way. And like that to me is most important. Um, the next generation of banana ball players are well on their way. And I think the coolest thing that I can do on this journey is be able to make it easier for you guys to do trick plays, which is like this simplistic thing you can do, but to be confident, to find your characters, to be confident early and like really just make the world what you want it to be. And Banana Ball has given us the opportunity to connect like this and really create cool friendships where I've known the two of you from games and tournaments for a while, and makes the podcast hopefully super easy for you guys and super easy for me to hop on and have a good conversation about baseball.
My three coaches that I had on the training day I had Andy Archer,
W.
I had Armando Becerra, and I had Danny Hosley.
W. Good coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Three unique different people, like Andy's energy and Mondo and Haas, they're two different. Andy's so outgoing and the two of those other guys are like very serious about their work, but each of them are very successful because of the way that they go about their business.
Yep.
A couple of off seasons ago, you did online trading with me. I'll never forget the walking lead you showed me. I actually use it a ton in games, and I've stolen home successfully a bunch of times. Same with dirt ball reads. You're really good at coaching and explaining things in ways easy to understand. What kind of coaches did you have growing up, and what do you think youth coaches can do to help youth athletes stay passionate about sports?
Thank you for that. Coaching is probably like go back to what does banana ball mean? It's an opportunity to really coach, and coaching is one of my biggest passions because I had great coaches growing up. Starts with my dad, like coach number one. He was the one who took me through the basics, through the seriousness, helped me, get the equipment and like really understand the game. And then I had some really great youth coaches, travel ball coaches, some coaches who motivated me through methods that didn't work for me, which I'm thankful to learn that process. Like it wasn't a bad experience. It just helped me figure out what my leadership style that I responded to. I had mentor Pat Cutshaw. He was my coach for ages. We would do lessons where I would show up, and at first it was skill based, and then it became kind of life based of, hey, here's how you get recruited. Here's how you handle yourself in these situations in the college atmosphere. Here's how you hopefully go get drafted. And then I had a high school coach, Mike Shaleski, who was a really good mentor to me. He wasn't my longest coach, but the time that we had was super impactful because it was not only about what you did on a baseball field, but who you were as a man. Like that stuff mattered. He made sure that we were handling ourselves in like the highest standard, as Reggie says, making sure that we acted what was best for the school and our university. So it's really cool to have mentors. I think coaches at the youth age really just need to take a step back and realize that the game is now for the kids. A lot of times as coaches, you want to have your hands on so much and you want to control the outcome of this game. But I don't want to say this. It's not that it doesn't matter because wins and losses do matter. But what matters is allowing the players to control the environment themselves, right? As a coach, you want to give them all the tools so that they can go out and then make whatever's on this diamond theirs. You don't want to be looking at the end of the day and the coach saying, hey, this decision was ultimately what cost us the game. And that's what a lot of coaches get blamed for, was bringing in a different pitcher or not starting the same lineup. A lot of times coaches get some bad raps for the way that they vocalize their lessons to players. You can't yell at these kids. You can't make them shut down. The goal is to basically water the flowers, right? We want to make everything grow. We want everything to bloom. There's a lot of different ways that can happen. The coach is not always right. And I think they need to take a step back and realize if there's a million different ways to play the game, there's a million different ways for the kid to interpret the game. The best part that we have in Banana Land with our coaches is a open environment to talk about what we need. I made an error opening weekend and I knew what I did wrong. Coach Gillum knew what I did wrong, but he's my infield guy. So when I got off the field, I felt obligated to tell him, like, hey, coach, should have stayed eyes down here, should have worked to try to pick the ball. I jumped up, got a little scared, moved away from it on a wet surface. And he smiled and looked at me and we just moved on. Instead of him yelling at me about my mistake, I knew I made the mistake. Everybody knows it. Right. He gave me the space to acknowledge it myself, to bring it to him. And, we shook hands on it, moved on. I made a great play the next inning, right? Because I kept the confidence rolling. And as long as coaches continue to allow their kids to just take the game for what it is, they'll stay around a lot longer. And I think having one coach or like two coaches in your life that you really can trust is way more important than going in and out from a different coach every 6 months.
Yeah, my coach on my team, every time I do my walk-up song to bat and I get a hit, he says, "That's why we dance." And it gives me like a confidence boost inside, and that really helps me. And it's just really it's really cool how he does that. And I think that a lot of people are like, before I dance, it's like, oh, he's dancing, he's probably gonna strike out, and then I get a hit, and then it's like he's like, that's why we dance, and it's really cool.
It's a huge game. Like we talk about game changers, right? I'm going up to the plate, no music, super tense, thinking about what pitch he's going to throw me, what the team needs me to do. All of a sudden, I start to shut down. My favorite song comes on, my walk up song comes on, I'm dancing, I'm vibing. You could throw me whatever you want, I'm going to hit it. Like, I'm going to do something here, and I got good energy, so I trust where it's going to go. And I think that takes a lot of stress off the batter.
Time for a little segment we like to call home run or strikeout. We're going to ask you a series of topics, and you're going to decide if they're home run or if they're strikeout.
I'm ready.
Socks with slides or like Crocs?
Home run.
Bucky's.
Home run.
Nail polish.
Home run.
Pineapple on pizza.
Home run. Controversial. People are going to say no strikeout on that. I'm home run, pineapple and pizza.
Video games.
Grand slam. Is that an option?
Yeah.
Home run for sure.
Yeah, my favorite game is MLB The Show.
Do you guys play like Road to the Show?
Yeah. I play Diamond Dynasty.
Nice. Me too. The new Road to the Show is supposed to have like colleges on it and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Waffle House.
home run, grand slam. I mean, that's where the grand slam comes in. Shout out Andy Archer. Andy, if you watch this, I am shouting out the grand slam at Waffle House.
Kids playing more than one sport.
Home run.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that's almost a must at your age.
Yeah. I do lacrosse and I do karate. So I do 3 sports.
Good. Keeps your body moving, keeps you understanding fundamentals of like using your body.
Mm.
Doing other sports, it makes you better in other sports, like your main sport. It makes you better because you have other skills that you learn from the other sports to bring into your own sport that you like most.
Yeah.
That's what basketball did for me.
I do lacrosse, and the hand-eye coordination that I gained from baseball helps me catch the ball in the net.
Yep. And the movements, the cutting, the footwork.
Mm-hmm.
Before we end tonight, we'd want to give you an award based on what we love about you.
We want to give you the Golden Glove Wizard Award in recognition for your undeniable magic on the field.
Your ability to catch, snag, and awe-inspire fans has earned you the title of the Glove Magician. Your ability to up our expectations of trick plays is a different level. While most fans love to watch hitting, you've made fielding exciting to watch. You bring excitement to the game and keep us pushing to learn more and try new tricks.
You keep mesmerizing us with your talent and continue making Banana Land a magical experience. Time to flip the script. Do you have any questions for us?
Let me think on that. First thing that I have to say to you is thank you for all the kind words. Like we talk about in the locker room, why do we do this? Obviously, we're not currently playing for the World Series or anything like that. What you said at the line about a lot of people want to see hitting, and you think that I make fielding fun, and that's probably the coolest thing that you can say to me. I've always had the decision if you could tell me I could hit every game or I could be in the field and play in the field every game, I would just go out there and play defense. I would throw my at bats and give them to someone else. And sometimes that happens here with the golden batter. And it's like, whatever, I'm thankful I get to go try to save a run, or now I get to do cool tricks and do that. So thank you. That'll build my confidence up for weeks. So next time I do a cool trick and you're like, how the heck did he did that? It's the confidence that you guys give me with words like that. Questions for you. I'm gonna say B. You wear my eye black and you've kept my eye black on through all the characters that you seem to adapt, and like one, it's super cool that you have favorites and like you add them to yours. This interview has been a long time coming, so you could have easily went to a different eye black or like picked a different style, but you stayed with the smiley faces. Why are the smiley faces so cool to you?
Uh, I'm just used to it. I mean, it feels good.
And it's just for me, it's my reminder. Like I want to try to keep that smile on because I play pretty serious. Like I care a lot about what we do, and I'll smile when it's the time for it. But it's also the reminder of when I fail. Like, hey, you can't get super mad. You can keep the even keel, but you can't get super mad and like let that ruin the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely is very good eye black. It just looks good and makes you feel good. So that's all it really has to be.
All right, Rye, my question for you. I like, even though I'm a Bananas fan, I'm going to say this with caution. I like how proudly you support your party animals and the people that are super cool. A big fan that I think you are. You're a big fan of Mr. Chase Acuff, as am I, when we both play shortstop. So while we are here to talk about my defense, let's talk about his, because he is somebody that inspires me. And we play two different games of a shortstop. All right. What do you think that Chase's number one trick play is? And what is your favorite that he has done? And do you have a favorite trick play from another infielder on the Party Animals?
So on the party animals, I like Chase's one where he does the one where he spins and he catches it, he like fields it, and then he spins and puts it between his legs and then throws it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also like Baber at second base, the one where he goes between the legs, does like a hop spin, and then throws it midair to first base. That one's really cool.
That's one of my favorites too. A-Cup spinning play is one that I just don't understand the footwork sometimes. It's so impressive how he moves his feet and sets his body to make a good throw. And then Air Baber's pretty cool. I hit into an Air Baber play the other day, so he got that trick off. And Bloomer does a lot of really cool things.
Yeah, bloomers are also really cool.
I'll give you one group question here as the game changer goats. You've created this, I think, to talk to a lot of people that you think are game changers. Why do you guys think you're game changers? Because for me, this is one of the coolest podcasts I've ever been on. And not only do you get to talk to some of the people of your favorite sport, you're also building a lot of practice in this arena, a lot of good resume, a lot of things like if you watch the Mr. Beasts of the world, like Mr. Beast was making videos when he was young. If you watch D-Sarm videos, D-Sarm was making a lot of cool videos whenever he was your age and like starting to figure that stuff out. So one, why do you think you're game changers? And two, do you see content creation being something you want to do for a long time?
For the second question, yes, definitely. I think it helps express feelings and it's just really helpful if people want to know something. And for the first question, I think that we are because we are trying to interview people who are game changers and try to help other kids feel happy and not be as nervous when they're coming and having fun and just encourage them to also have a positive attitude and keep trying.
Same thing as Riley. Yeah. Second question, yeah. Second question, yes. And to tag on to Riley's first question answer, yeah. I mean, that's what leaders do.
Sick. You guys are game changers for sure. I mean, this weekend was one of the game changer things, the little clips, right? Clipping on to everybody, doing the, attaching that stuff. I found some on my batting gloves like an hour after you could have even been around me. And I was like, how did this end up on my batting gloves? So that's all my questions. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Do you got anything else for me?
Yeah.
Before we sign off, what would be one thing you'd want to tell your 10-year-old self?
I love this question. I don't know if you're gonna make it is the right word because there's a lot going into that. Like I do feel I've made it. I feel like there's a lot left to do. So I'm gonna go with the work is worth it. I think if I could tell my 10-year-old self something, the work is worth it. It's not perfect. I didn't get drafted the way I wanted to. I didn't play for the Pirates the way I wanted to, but I got to have these conversations with the next generation of ball players. I get to add my flair to the game with the defense that I play and help my teammates. I get to still be able to play a game, as I'm getting older, which not a lot of people get to do. So all the times that it was tough to maybe go to bed early that night or take that long car ride to the tournament, spend the extra time in the cage, or the days it doesn't go well and coach is hard on you and it's like, I don't know how long I can do this. All the work is worth it because it made me a better student, it made me a better friend, it made me more confident in myself because you just learn how to just fail and keep going. So if I could tell my 10-year-old self anything, the work is worth it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I would say something similar because sometimes you feel down on yourself and that you can't do the work because it's so hard and that you're going to give up. But in the future, you never know what could happen.
I have one more this or that. Air
Hit it.
Babe or Jason's behind the back catch at first base.
Can I get a combo?
Sure.
I'm gonna go Air Baber, but Swanee's behind the back.
Yeah.
Big time.
A huge thank you to Ryan Cox for coming on the show tonight. We appreciate you spending time with us.
Game changer goats. Let's go.
This is Riley.
And Brycen.
Thank
And
you
the
for
Glove
joining
Magician.
us. Thank you for joining us this episode, and until next time.
Think about what kind of kid you want to be.